Estás escuchando Conversaciones de Altura.
Hola amigos, bienvenidos a Conversaciones de Altura. I'm super happy about my next guest. I want to welcome back to the show one of the coolest gringos I know, Mr. Kyle Stevenson. How are you, friend?
Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing, buddy? How are you?
Doing well. Did you know that I
Purple
don't
Passion.
purple passion over here? Did you know that I don't drink alcohol anymore?
Yeah, I do know that. I remember that last time we were hanging out. You said that you're done with the booze, that's good. That's great. I've had a lot of friends who have made that decision lately, and I applaud that. That's great.
Yeah, man.
It's
But
better for you, right?
it is better for me. I look younger. On the other
Yeah,
hand,
sure.
my weight intake has gone through the roof.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, you make up for it with other stuff.
Yeah, that's true, man.
But that's normal.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with weed. Weed is totally, there's nothing wrong with that. As you know, I love the stuff too. So
yeah, man.
if I had to take one or the other, I would totally pick weed over alcohol any day.
but you don't drink a lot, do you? You're more like a beer guy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, actually, that beer has been. I've been switching gears a little. I switch gears from time to time. Like on the road, we always drink a lot of beer because that's like what's on our rider and stuff. But at home, I've been drinking a lot of hot toddies actually, which is it's like a hot. You put like fresh cut ginger and lemon and honey when hot water, and then you add some I add Jameson to it, and also some turmeric and some cayenne to make it a little spicy, and it's great, and it's hot, so you can't drink it fast, and it's just kind of and it's good. All that stuff's good for you. Like we drink it without the booze on the road whenever we're starting to feel sick, and that's kind of what spurred it on. We just started making them for after show drinks, and then started adding the booze, and it just kind of I got addicted to it for a little while.
Oh wow, that's awesome. That's like a way you trick yourself, that or your brain rather, that you're drinking something healthy. I mean, which you are.
Yeah,
but,
no,
but
yeah,
if you
for
add,
sure.
but if you add alcohol,
Yeah.
you
No,
know.
no, yeah, no, but it's like it could be worse. But yeah, it's still alcohol, absolutely. But at
Uh,
least it's mixed with a bunch of healthy shit.
yeah, no, I feel you, man. It's the same with weed. It's like every time I smoke more weed that I should smoke, I trick myself saying like, okay, it's healthy, like it's
Yeah.
it's
Well, but it's reducing
just.
my stress, and yeah.
But like 6 months after I get fat and chubby, so I'm like, no, I don't think this is healthy.
So
And I
how long ago did you stop drinking? It's been at least a couple of years, right? More than that? How many?
10 years.
10. Wow. Congratulations. Cheers to that.
Thanks, buddy. But I mean, myself, that I was never like a big drinker.
No, you were never a big drink. No, definitely. You've always been more, you like to, smoke the pot and eat the pot. I mean, that's how you got the name Cookie Monster.
Exactly, man.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, thank you so much, man, for taking the time in doing this again. I really
sure, buddy. That's
appreciate.
good.
So I want
My
to start.
pleasure.
Oh, thank you, man. Likewise. I want to start with your new project, or I guess new,
Yeah,
which is called Temp Survivors.
it's correct. Yes.
And
Yeah,
and the
sorry,
reason
go
I
ahead.
wanna no, that's fine. The reason I want to start with that is because I'm fascinated by the idea that you're playing with someone that I didn't think you knew his prior band, Saetias.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you say? Saesha.
Saisha, I think is how it's pronounced.
Yeah. So how did that come to life? How did that come to be? Because it's so different from what you are used to play, and I know your
Yeah.
musical taste, so it's
Well,
interesting.
it's the I've known Adam. I've known Adam for a long, going back to like the Big Collapse days. He was friends with my buddy Matt and Josh from Big Collapse, and so guitar, and he was in a band then called Instruction. And so anyway, we were running around, our camps were running around together a bunch. And he was, you know, a New York guy, and he moved to San Diego. And, you know, we've all had kids, you know, as we got older and stuff. And but he hit me up about, I don't know, at least 5 years ago. He's just like, I have a bunch of songs I've been working on, and I was wondering if you'd be interested to help me, you know, put them together and you know, and jam. And I was like, yeah. So we got together. He would drive up to LA, and we would jam, and we put together, I think, like 5 songs over the course of a few months. And then I introduced him to Toshi, who we record all the Helmet stuff, and he does all the Melvin stuff too. So we went over to Sound of Sirens and recorded those 5 songs, but it was just guitar and drums, and he didn't really have anybody to do any vocals or bass on it. So I just kind of thought he just wanted to record them, you know, just kind of a thing. And that was kind of it. And then, you know, I guess right when it must have been right when the whole COVID thing happened, he hit me up, and he's like, I found a singer and a bass player. And I totally forgot to mention too that Matt from Big Collapse, Matt Kane, he's also playing in this band too. So it's like I'm playing in a band with him again, which is pretty awesome, you know, because we kind of lost touch for a while there, but now we're back. We even before we started, you know, kind of playing in this band together, we had, you know, reconnected. And so it's great to be playing with him again. I'm stoked to be doing stuff with him, because I always thought he was awesome. But anyway, so you got a drummer, Josh English from did I say drummer? I meant singer. Sorry. He found this guy Josh English, he's friends with his Seisha and Aerotype 11. They toured with Josh's old band, 6 going on 7. So anyway, he found Josh, who's awesome. And we had this guy Eric, who is in the band, Eric Aberth from the Life and Times. And he did bass on the stuff that we just put out. We just had a 7-inch that came out. So he played bass on that, but then he couldn't commit enough time to it. So he kind of left, and now Josh he plays bass also. So he's doing double duties. He's doing vocals and the bow fiddle. So
okay, that's
yeah. But anyway, yeah. So Adam and I, you know, we go back a ways. And yeah, we're bros, and I'm pretty pumped that he asked me to do music, because it's fun. It's a total shift of gears from Helmet, obviously. So it's good to do something, you know, in another vein, even though we're all kind of from the same you know, world of music. We're exploring other areas of it. So it's good.
Were you a fan of Saetia before you?
No, I never really knew about them. And I mean, even with Adam, I always knew he was in a band, Aerotype 11. I didn't really know about Seisha until you know, later on, after I knew him for a while. But I didn't realize how influential they were on the whole emo scene, you know, because I think they only put out like 1 record. And I mean, maybe I'm wrong, I'm not sure, but anyway, yeah, they're a big deal. And I guess they're getting back together and doing a couple shows.
Yes.
At St. Vitus. And yeah, I'm stoked for Adam, because, you know, that's his baby. So it's pretty cool that there's that much people are that excited about it, and they're going to do some stuff. So I think it's great.
Yeah, for sure. I think their shows are sold out, and also people in Mexico love them, which is really funny.
Oh, really?
Because it's kind of like I don't know if this will make sense. It's kind of like a famous underground band.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, that totally makes sense. I can relate to that for sure. That's awesome. I didn't know that they were that popular in Mexico. That's fucking awesome. I don't know if Adam knows that, but I'll definitely, maybe he does, but I'll tell him anyway.
Yeah,
That's
for sure, man.
rad.
So let's talk about the grading process with Temp Survivors, because I mean, like you
Okay.
said, it's very different from what you do in Helmet. And of course,
Yeah.
I want to ask, I want to talk about this later, but I know that, or I imagine that with this band you have more freedom to be more creative. Is that
Yeah, you
fair?
could say that. Yeah, you could definitely say that, you know. It's more of a it's more of a band in the way that it's, everybody's just kind of equal and has their input, and it's not as much of even though I've been in Helmet for 16 years, it's still kind of Page's band, and I he has the final say at the end of the day. So with Attempt Survivors, yeah, there's definitely a little more freedom, and that definitely is something I look forward to. We're about to record a record. We're flying to Baltimore
Wow.
in July to record with Jay Robbins from Jawbox.
No
He's
shit.
got he's got his own studio, and he produces a bunch of records. So he's going to produce the record, and we're doing it at his studio. And I'm a huge Jawbox fan, so I'm really looking forward to working with him and just recording at that studio. So very excited in a couple weeks we're going out there, and it's gonna be cool. I'm really looking forward to getting this stuff out there and doing a whole record. We just had the 7-inch come out last week, I think. So it's cool that that's finally out in the world, and now we're moving forward, which is awesome.
So this is like an LP, because the EP has 2 songs.
Right? Yeah. So we have an album's worth of material that we're gonna hopefully get it all down while we're out there in Baltimore, and so I'm sure there'll be some stuff that we come up with naturally in the studio. There's still a lot of parts that are nothing is like 100% set in stone, so most of all the structures are there, but there's definitely some fine tuning that I'm sure will happen in the studio. And it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time.
Was that on purpose? Do you prefer to work like that?
It wasn't on purpose.
Okay.
It wasn't on purpose. I like to be as prepared as possible. And we're prepared. It's not like there's a lot to figure out, but it's just we everybody lives in different cities, so it's not like we can just get together all the time and work on stuff. Like Adam's in San Diego, Josh is in Portland, and Matt's in like fucking Boston or Connecticut or something. So we're all in different cities, so we get to get like Adam and Josh will fly down to LA, he'll fly to San Diego, and Adam and Josh will come up to LA, and we'll get together in my little drum room that I have, and we'll work on stuff like maybe once every couple months. That's about it though. So, but we have like rough demos of the stuff. So we're definitely ready to go.
Yeah, and just to clarify, I didn't mean to ask it in a way that it seems like you were not prepared, but I know that some bands like to do that. Like they like to have like the skeleton of the songs, but they prefer to go into the studio and work on the songs because I guess they like to experiment, or maybe
absolutely,
they like to.
If you have time to do that, that's awesome.
Yeah, right. Because that's. I'm glad that you mentioned that, because the studio time is not cheap.
No, usually, I've always had to just like, your time is money, so you want to be as prepared as possible when you go in there. But if you have more time and more freedom, it's great to be able to experiment and all that too. So with Helmet, it's been kind of more on the rough ideas going into the studio and fine tuning it all when we get in there. which is a little different than what I was used to before. But now I'm used to doing it that way, you know. So it's cool. You got to be able to do it always.
Right. Yeah, you have to be prepared in life.
Yeah, it's good to do it different ways, you know. But
For
yeah,
sure.
and we'll see what, you know, Jay Robbins, how his work ethic goes, and well, I mean, not his ethic, but just the way he works. It'll be fun to get moving over there in his world.
No, for sure. And the fact that it's in Baltimore, that makes things different for you. It's another
Yeah, that's also,
ecosystem and everything is different.
I like to go to somewhere else to do a record where it's like you're not at home, like your focus is just more fine tuned on what what you're doing. You don't have the distraction of home to kind of pull you back into, out of your being in the moment. So yeah,
Right.
I'm looking forward to that too. It's been, I think the last record I did that was the big collapse record at
Wow.
when we did that at Big Fish in Encinitas. So yeah, we were all away from home, and that's one of my favorites. So yeah,
Wow. I'm
we'll see
happy
what
for
happens.
you.
We'll see what comes out of this one.
No, it will be awesome. So I'm curious about how was it for you working on these songs long distance? How did like how was it? How was the experience?
It's different for sure. There's a lot more of sitting alone and just kind of listening to whatever you have, recorded of it, and just kind of, going over it and, by yourself. So it's a little different than obviously being with everybody in a room together. I don't think we've never all been in a room together playing any of these songs. So
Wow.
it's definitely an adjustment, but it's as long as you're focused, it's not too hard to figure out. It's actually kind of fun because like you'll set the tracks I'll get an email and like, hey, Matt did his part, and now it like totally changes the song, and like I'm used to just hearing the bare bones, like rhythm guitar and drums or whatever, and then I'll get it back and it's like got all this other stuff, and I'm like, holy shit, this is so awesome. It's way different than how I remember it,
Oh, that's cool because I was thinking maybe you came up with like an awesome drum beat for the first, I guess, demo, and then he sends you something different, and you're like, "Fuck, I missed the. I mean, I can't play this awesome drum beat I came up with."
No, it's I think the only stuff that's kind of started with a drum, or I don't even know if any of it's really started with a drum beat, but he'll have like Adam will kind of program a loose idea on his garage band or whatever, and then or he'll just email me, a riff. He'll send me a bunch of riffs and kind of like parts that are supposed to go together.
Oh, okay.
And then when we get together, I'll just throw out what I think, or I'll ask him what kind of vibe he's looking for. But then I'll just throw out what I think sounds right, and and then we kind of go from there. And if usually he likes it, sometimes he wants me to do something a little more specific. So it's he's easy to work with. It's fun.
Oh, that's cool, man. Was it or I guess my question is, how do you come up with drumbeat ideas? For example, he sends you something, I guess with like a click or like you said, with a basic drum beat.
Right.
Do you immediately think, okay, I can do this, I can do that? Or do you have to think about it, come up with different ideas?
I'll like to, sometimes something will just naturally come to me and it just feels right and sounds right. And then, but sometimes you have to sit with it and try and play it, a million different ways to see what actually is interesting and what sounds, sounds right, for whatever the vibe is of the song, but it's kind of both, sometimes I'll sit and work on forever for like one little part, or sometimes we'll just jam on a song and it just feels right. And like, there's not a whole lot of, it's less effort because you just kind of you get the vibe and it feels right, so you don't have to sit there and just go over and try all kinds of different stuff. And sometimes you do try different stuff and you're like, whoa, no, that's that's no good. I'm glad we did it though, so now we know that that's no good.
Right, but that's part of the process, isn't it? Like you have to
Yeah,
experiment,
absolutely.
you have to try things. What's that saying? Well, not it's not a saying, but it's like a try and error.
Trial and error. Yeah,
Yeah, trial.
yeah, try. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
just give me a second. Okay, so I know that you work with Toshi doing this EP. How was it different working with him on this album as opposed of working with him on the Helmet stuff?
No, not really. I mean, he's part of why I love working with him is he's just super easy to work with. He's just always got a good demeanor about him, and so it's always easy to work with him. And like it's a relaxed vibe over at his studio. So I didn't really there wasn't really too much of a difference that I could tell you. I mean, obviously it was different people and
For
different
sure.
songs, but as far as the experience of working with Toshi, it was awesome. Which it always is. So
Oh, I bet. Shout out to Toshi.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
Toshi rules.
yeah, he does. How much of an input did he have on this production on this EP?
I mean, that's a good question because I know he and Adam, sat together a lot and worked on, the mixes and stuff like that. So, I mean, he recorded it and mixed it, and I guess co-produced it. I'm not sure what the official or label of it would be, but he definitely, had a heavy hand in at least the mixing and recording process of it. I don't know, but he didn't really, not that I remember. It's not like he had too many kind of production ideas or like, he wasn't like sitting there with the songs trying to help us write them or anything like that. It was more of just a recording and mixing. That's more of what he did.
Oh, okay. I ask because I know, I mean, besides being an awesome producer and engineer, he's also a musician, as you know. So
Yeah. Oh my God, he's amazing. Yeah.
he's one of the best. So I know that sometimes producers kind of like to, how can I say this? Kind of, yeah, like kind of have to, they can like to advise the band because it's
Yeah.
kind of like a third voice.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, we're definitely open to ideas. So I just don't remember him really suggesting anything too much like this way or that way. I mean, maybe he did after I was gone, because I was only there obviously to do, the drums are always recorded first and then they do all the other stuff afterwards. So it's possible that he did have some more ideas, but um yeah, like I'm pretty sure it was more. He was just, obviously he tells you if he thinks something sounds good or if it doesn't. But
Oh,
I don't
cool.
think he wasn't. I don't so much as like I think you guys should try it this way or try this idea. I don't remember too much of that.
Is that something that you talk to the producer beforehand? I mean, I know that you recorded both Helmet albums with him, and now this
Yeah, but
one.
Paige was obviously Paige was like the producer for that, so it's
Yeah,
he
that makes
so
sense.
so I'm sure he and Toshi did all kinds of stuff after I was gone, but so I don't know if Toshi got co-producer on any of that stuff, but yeah, it was definitely with the helmet stuff. Page is like the producer, so I don't I don't know that Toshi was throwing too many ideas out as far as song structure stuff or whatever with that either.
Right. Um,
I don't know if I'm making any sense.
no, it does. It does make sense. It does make sense. I mean, I know Page, and I
Yeah,
kind of know how he works. So
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, yeah.
Okay, so before this Zoom chat stopped working, we were talking about working with Toshi
Yeah.
doing both helmet and attempt survivors. So I'm curious about this because I know, of course, you're a drummer, so you're a drum freak and you are into playing different types of drums and these type of things. Whenever you go into the studio, do you have an idea of how you want your drums to sound?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely have a way that I like my stuff to sound, but it's just in the beginning, it's always so hard when you're just recording drums and there's nothing else there. It's like, it might sound awesome, because that's all you're hearing, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. And then when everything else gets added in, it doesn't always sound the way I had anticipated. But I don't, yeah, I always listen to, Toshi's advice as far as getting, placing mics and stuff like that. I'm not very good. I'm not like an audiophile where I'm super anal about that kind of stuff. I'm more about I like to just put a couple microphones in front of the drum set and like record it as an instrument altogether instead of like singling out every tom and every, all that stuff. But I understand why they do it. And there's all kinds of different ways you can get great sound. So but I definitely prefer like a more, like an organic, not sampling every hit, like all that kind of stuff where every snare hit is like a sampled thing or whatever, all that kind of stuff. That's not how I like to do it. But I mean, some producers do, and that's what they end up doing, and so
But
what are you gonna do?
But I don't think I get it. Do you put like, I guess they call it ambient mics, and you record the drums as a whole instrument?
Yeah, you just get a room sound. It's like, you put a couple well-placed microphones and it'll pick up all the drums and everything kind of as the room hears it, or, instead of having everything so closely mic'd to where, it's super, I guess, there's just a different sound to doing it that way. I mean, but then you can have that and then also blend in the room mics and just kind of, it also works well too. You have the close-up stuff and then you add all the different room mics to kind of fill out the sound. So I'm definitely not too smart about how to get the greatest sounds. I trust, I put a lot of trust in the producer and the engineers to do all that stuff.
Okay, I get it now. So it's more like,
yeah.
So when you go into the studio, it's like, okay, I want these mics over here, and then you let the door open to Toshi you allow him to do whatever.
Yeah, I just set my drums up. I set my drums up and then let them mic it however they want to mic it. And, my main focus is just on getting a good take. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, no, you need to mic it this way. And I'm, so yeah, it's fun to do it. You also learn a lot just by sitting back and seeing how different people work and how they approach it compared to others. So that's definitely how I approach it.
Interesting.
I'm always learning.
No, for sure, man. I mean, especially when you record with one of the best out there, right? With Toshi. I mean,
yeah, he's awesome, man.
No,
I mean,
sure.
I'm trying to think of, I haven't recorded with anybody else for years. I've done the last 2 Helmet albums with him and all the Attempt Survivor stuff. So recording with Jay will be the new blood first new blood for a while. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
It will be interesting. It's gonna be interesting for you for sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to get over being a fanboy first, and just kind of just be, professional and just, but yeah, I'm super, I think that'll also, I can channel that energy into hopefully, some good performances.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to listen to that. So,
Yeah, I'm excited to do it too. So I'm looking forward to it.
oh, for sure, man. Did you record the EP with Click? It's always with Click.
Yeah, yeah, we've been doing the click stuff. Yeah, you know, I'm not the I understand why everybody likes to use it. It makes sense, but and plus we've never, like I said, we've never all been in the same room playing any of these songs together, you know. So it's always been kind of set, you know, do your parts and then send it off to the next guy and he'll do his parts. So that's just the nature of this this animal. So but yeah, it's a click track. Yes, I actually got Toshi to do been wanting to do a cluck track where instead of having that beep, you sub in the sound with like a chicken cluck, you know, like cluck 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 cluck. So we worked on that for a while. It's pretty fun.
That's funny, man. That's totally you. I love it.
Yeah.
So let's jump into. I'm super curious. I mean, I know you for over 10 years, and I never asked you this, but how was recording with Page? Because I mean, he's like a metronome, you know, like his timing is so tight. So how was the experience? First of all, you have recorded 2 albums with Helmet, right? Dead to the World and Sinai Dog.
Yes. Yep. So the first one, oh, sorry.
No,
Is there more to the
ahead.
question?
No.
Seeing Eye Dog was definitely, you know, that was my first record with him. And actually my first time recording with Toshi as well. And so I was definitely nervous, you know, obviously, but also super excited just to get a chance to record with Paige, you know, and kind of and all that. So yeah, it's great, you know. He knows, you know, his musical knowledge is infinite. So I've learned just a lot from working with him, you know, over the years. And he's easy to work with, you know. But if he doesn't like something, he'll tell you. That's one thing I've always admired about him, is he doesn't hold back. And if he doesn't like something, he'll tell you, you know. And it's kind of, you know, it's a good way to just squash all the bullshit and move on. So yeah, but overall he's pretty easy to work with, you know. I've heard stories, you know, before I started working with him, you know, you hear all kinds of stories, but he's great, man. He's a smart guy and he knows what he wants, and it's not too hard to work with him.
How
I mean, he's a pain in the ass too, but you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but he's a pain in the ass in the best way possible.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's his baby, you know, and I'm there to make him happy and do what he, you know, get him what he wants to hear. So that's, you know, when you're in a situation like that, it's a little easier actually, as far as you know, because I'm just trying to do what he's going to be happy with, and so it's instead of just having to kind of, I don't know, like not having the, I don't know. I don't want to make it sound like he's a total dictator and like you can't do what you want to do. He wants me to do, you know, me, but you know, it's just he's got the final say on it all. But it's still great. It's great to work with him.
Oh, for sure, man. And what was like the hardest thing at first, like when you started recording Sing Night Dog? Was it like the click or the sound? Or
the clicks always takes a little getting used to. You know, I started practicing with the click, you know, back then. I had never really practiced with one before, and so so I would be used to it. It wouldn't be so strange to be playing with a click in the studio. But I think it was just there was a decent amount of stuff that kind of came out in the studio. So I think that was probably the hardest part was just, coming up with cool shit.
But like you said, he's open to ideas, right? He's not
Yeah,
like,
no, he'll tell you like, I want you for this part, I want it to kind of be like throwing the drums down the stairs kind of thing, and so he'll give me an idea, and I'll run with it, and we'll eventually get there.
and you mentioned before that with Helmet sometimes you work the songs on the studio. Is there a reason why, or I guess you rehearse those songs prior, of course, right?
Well, with Helmet, we get to rehearse as much as we would like, either because Dave lives in New York and the three of us live out here. So rehearsing is not as frequent as, you would like, but, like for Seeing Eye Dog, we did a lot of rehearsing. We worked a lot of those songs like out in the jam space for at least, a month, So, and with Dead to the World, we did it in chunks. So we did
Okay.
I don't know, 4 or 5 songs in this session, and then another 4 or 5, and then another, because we recorded a bunch of covers for this little covers box set that we did as well. So yeah, we did that album a little differently,
Right.
but and then some of the songs were definitely like, we didn't have as much time together to put all those songs together, before we went into the studio. So I think there's probably 1 or 2 that we just kind of, finalize, actually became a song in the studio, which it's fun. It's a different way to work, but it's cool because you feel like, oh, we just made this right now. It wasn't like we've been rehearsing it this way forever. It's like we just came up with it, and it's pretty fucking cool. So that's also a fun way to do it.
No, for sure, man. And I think it's worth mentioning that Dave wasn't in the band when you recorded Seeing Eye Dog.
Right. Yeah. Dave was not in the band. He joined shortly after that record. Actually, he joined before the record came out, but it had already been finished when he joined. So yeah. So that was, I think Chris Traynor played on that one.
Yes, I think so too. And because I have
I know. So I was there. I remember.
I was there. Exactly. I was there. Yeah, I was there telling him what to play.
Yeah, no, I definitely wasn't doing that.
No, but I mean, Chris he's playing with Bush, and he played with Helmet for the longest
He played
time,
with
right?
Helmet, Orange 9mm. That's how I first knew him, is from Orange 9mm, and I love that. I used to really be into that band. I still love that stuff. Yeah, and then he got into Helmet around the Aftertaste era, and then he also was on the Size Matter stuff. He's a great dude. He's really fun to work with too, because he's got just a ton of ideas, and he knows his shit, and he's a really good player, and yeah, so it's fun to work with him.
No, for sure. And from what I heard, he's a professional in.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a total pro, no doubt. We did a few shows with Bush, I don't know, a few years ago. Like we did a week of shows with them, and he was always super, super nice, and he's just he's a funny guy.
Yeah,
he's a character. He's a character, but he's a great dude.
No, for sure. I met him once, and he was super nice.
He is. Cool. He's super sweet. He's a great guitar player too, and yeah, he's that Orange 9 stuff, man. Those riffs are fucking. Some of those riffs are just
amazing. Yeah, I never got the chance to see them.
Yeah. Oh, I saw him a couple times, but I think I saw him. I think it was Orange 9 and Quicksand and Helmet. I saw together like back in.
Shit.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was the bill. Yeah. So yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's funny to think about that kid back then and now. It's funny.
Did it ever cross your mind, I want to play in Helmet?
No, never. No, I mean, I never. never thought that thought had never entered my mind, until I got the audition, and then I was like, well, I've always loved the band, and I love John's drumming, so it was I was like, well, why not? Let's give it a shot.
Oh man, fuck
But
yeah.
I'd never been like, yeah, I'm gonna be in. I mean, they broke up, and I was like, all right, that's it. Helmet's done. When they got back together with the new lineup, I didn't. I thought it was awesome. I love that record, but I never thought that like I have a chance at this gig, or I would, yeah.
Right.
That thought never entered my mind until I started hanging out with even when I was buddies with Johnny Tempesta and his roommate at the time, Billy Pulaski. So I worked with Billy, so I would hang out with those guys, but I'd never I'd never thought that like, yeah, this is gonna lead to me being in Helmet. The thought never entered my mind.
No, I bet. But I mean, sometimes, especially when you're a kid, right, and you start getting into music, you are like, oh man, I wish I could play with this guy, or I wish I could play in this band, or at least I thought. I mean, it's not like I want to play in Fear Factory, but sometimes I was like, oh man, that would be awesome, right?
That'd be fun. Yeah, it's fun to gig to be in that band for sure. I always was wanted to, my whatever band I was doing to get to that level, So I was always trying to do that as opposed to joining an already established band. I mean, it was pretty much the first opportunity I'd had to do so, to do that. I didn't really have a lot of auditions for bands prior to that, so it was it's pretty cool. The opportunity came along, and I got it.
Yeah, and you've been in the band for like 16 years.
Yeah, 16 years. I was just thinking, I'm pretty sure it was right around August or September of 2006 is when I joined. So yeah.
Was the GNR tour your first tour?
Yeah, that was the first. There was like talk of doing a couple other tours before that, but they didn't materialize. And then it was like a Sunday, and we're like, hey, we got offered to do like this Guns N' Roses tour, and we're like, okay. And then by that Friday, was the first show. So it happened like the whole thing happened so fast, because I guess the Eagles of death metal were on there, and they had some beef with Axl about something. I don't remember the story, but so they were off the tour, and they needed somebody to fill in, and we were available. And yeah, it was incredible. I mean, like, fucking definitely never thought I would ever be touring with Guns N' Roses,
Oh shit.
So yeah, and that was my first Helmet show was opening for Guns N' Roses in Ames, Iowa. And like the crowd was just not having it. All they wanted was Guns N' Roses. And they were booing us and just chanting like GNR and like throwing shit. They were like throwing water bottles and like coins at us and shit. And I was like, this is my first Helmet show. I'm like, this is so fucking awesome. In an arena of like 12,000 people just fucking booing you and saying GNR. It was awesome.
That's like opening for a Slayer, right? I heard that opening for a Slayer is. I
would never want to do that. That's a tough
gig.
I wouldn't want to follow him either.
Oh no,
no.
Yeah,
how you gonna follow up Slayer? But yeah. So the Guns N' Roses, that was the first tour. It was awesome. It was definitely an experience I'll never forget.
What was that the first time that you met Brian and Brandon?
Yeah, Brian, Herb and Brandon. They were I met them. They picked us up at the airport when we landed, and we drove in Herb's van with all the gear from like wherever we got. I think maybe we flew into Minneapolis and we drove to Ames, Iowa. I don't remember exactly, but yeah. Met those guys the first day, the day before the first show, and they were, I wouldn't say we hit it off immediately, but it didn't take long. And those guys are just the best. Yeah, I love both of them still to this day.
Oh, for
They're
sure, man.
two of my best buds. I love them both.
Yeah, shout out to them. I love them both too.
Yeah.
And for folks who don't know who what we're talking about, Brian, or who we're talking about, Brian and Brandon,
Brian Herb.
Brian Herb.
Yeah.
He's
He's a
doing
sound
guy, right?
sound engineer and tour manager. Well, for us, he was a tour manager and sound, front of house guy. And Brandon Onward was our stage tech. Yeah, and that was our crew. Those two knuckleheads.
Yeah, and then now Brian is working with Jerry Cantrell. I mean, as well as Brandon.
Yeah.
I think they're doing Europe together now.
I was wondering who Brandon was out there with. I saw some posts on the Insta shit, and but he didn't say like who he's with. He's just like, oh, I'm at Hellfest or whatever. I was like, oh, okay. So that's cool that they're working together over there. That's awesome.
I want to talk, I want to go back to the recording days or recording process rather of Into the World, because you mentioned that you did it in blocks. Was that, I don't want to say harder, but I guess it caught the momentum, right? Because I guess you start easy and then you get to this point of, okay, I'm ready to keep going. And then it's like, okay, now we're going to do it in another time.
No, I mean, we knew that that's how we were going to do it, because we were touring a lot then too. So we'd tour and then come off the road and, do a batch of songs and then have another tour and then come off and do another. It was just kind of the way all the songs weren't written, and B, it was just kind of the way it worked out. But there was no, I knew that that's how we were doing it. So I don't feel like there was any momentum lost or anything like that. It was just kind of, cause we just, that's the way we did it. We knew that was the routine. So yeah, there was no weirdness.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know if making a record that changes the sound, if that makes sense.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because you're not going to get the same exact sound for all the songs. I'm sure it did to a degree, but I don't think it was anything that was super noticeable,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean that's I like how it sounds. I love the Elvis Costello cover.
Oh, that was a fun one. Yeah, that was definitely that one. That one's kind of like, yeah, you're all of a sudden that song hits you. It's a nice little subvert or whatever diversion on the record.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I appreciate about Helmet, that you guys play covers that don't really fit with the band.
Yeah, that's more fun that way.
No, for sure. I mean, what are you gonna do? Like what? I don't
like a
know.
Pantera
Like
cover,
exactly, like a Slayer or Metallica cover.
No, it's definitely fun to. I've always liked to do that. Pick a song that's not in your style or your vein of music, and kind of do with it what you can to make it your own.
Yes. What about the Smiths or Morrissey cover?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I might have to quit if we do that.
No, I'm kidding, because I mean, I know you don't like Morrissey.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan, but I know you are, and plenty of other people, and I got, it's that's just my opinion.
No, I mean, I remember one time we were on tour and I think we were doing karaoke.
Yeah,
and I sang.
Yeah, you said, "I'm so sorry."
But I was like, this song is dedicated to Kyle.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Why did you want to dedicate a song from someone I hate?
Yeah, I know. I get it. That's sideways stuff. I tell you, I'm all for it. I'm sure I mean, of course, I had to give you grief about it, but Yeah, I remember that. That was a fun. There were a lot of good karaoke performances that night, if I remember
Oh, man.
correctly.
Yeah, I think I have some videos.
Oh, you do?
I think so. I
I
might.
think that what was that? That was like Kansas City, I think, right?
Yeah, Kansas City.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
awesome.
wow. Yeah, that was so funny. So now I wanna ask you if you write music yourself. Like, I know you kind of play guitar.
Yeah, yeah. I dabble in guitar and piano, and I can make my way through a song on the bass if I have to. Um, I do, and I have. I haven't really, I haven't really had the inspiration to kind of do my own project. I just it's I've never really been like a solo project guy. I mean, I have written songs, but I never think any of my songs are any good. And so I'm kind of, I guess that's partly most of why I haven't. Just because I don't know. I'm better. I work better in a group setting.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm like that. I mean, I write music, but I think it's better for me if I work it out with people, with more people.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I just feel like all this stuff that I write ends up being just kind of goofy, and like, which is fine because I'm kind of goofy. So, but I don't know. I've just never like wanted to be like, all right, I'm gonna do everything myself kind of album. I mean, I did, but it was somebody else's songs. I was doing like PJ Harvey covers, but so in that regard, I don't mind. But yeah, writing my own stuff and trying to get it out there, I haven't gotten to that level yet. I don't think. I
Was
don't know that I don't know that I ever will.
You should, man. I think it would be really it would real it would be really interesting to see what you come up with, because like I said before, I know your musical tastes.
Yeah.
How do you say musical taste?
Yeah, taste. Yep. Or tastes. You could add
taste.
an S at the end if you want.
Taste.
Either way.
Okay, your musical taste is super diverse, so it would be really cool to hear what Kyle has to say.
It would definitely be. It wouldn't be all the same. It would be a very. If it were to happen, it would be all. It would span all genres. I don't, except for rap, probably. I don't think I would do that, but yeah. Well, hey, you never say never. I don't know.
Do you have bars? Can you rap?
Oh man, I got mad flow.
That's a tough one, man. I rap and have a good flow. Oh man.
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm not. No, freestyling on the mic is not something that I've been known to really excel at.
Yeah,
I gotta write it out.
Oh man, there's like a boom in hip hop and freestyling in Mexico City, and it's
really?
It's funny.
Is it like rap or whatever battles where dudes are like just standing in front of each other and just talking shit basically in rap form?
Yes, but this one is, so how it works now, it's on the streets, right? So like two friends start like doing the rap battles, or sometimes they go into the public bus or the subway and they start like talking about, or rapping rather, about the people on the subway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it can get uncomfortable.
Well, people aren't into it. Yeah, I can see it. Like they're on the subway doing it in the subway car.
The subway, in the car, in the how would you call it? Yeah, in the car, like they would, or in the bus. It's like someone jumps into the LA public bus and they start rapping about Kyle, Joe,
and like
Kyle.
is there like so there's a guy filming it too, and they just kind of
not really.
Oh, okay.
They just do it.
Oh, really? They just do it for
fun and money.
Oh, I see. So it's kind of a busking type of thing.
Yeah, but it gets uncomfortable, to be honest, because they talk about people that are sitting down, and not all of people are into that,
Yeah, I mean, especially if they're just talking shit, which kind of wouldn't surprise me if that's what they did.
Yeah,
started taking apart people's outfits and whatnot.
Yeah, I'll try to film some and send it over next time.
All right. Yeah, I'll check that out for sure. I like watching cringe-worthy stuff,
especially in Spanish, because
yeah, right.
Yeah, it will be interesting to hear your take on that.
All right, yeah, send it on over. I'll check it out.
Man. Okay, man. So I don't want to take more of your time, man. It's been so cool to talk to you again. But
cool, man. Yeah, my pleasure. But I hope it turned out all right.
Oh man, it came amazing. But before we leave, I want to touch a little bit on the indie drummer collective.
Oh yeah.
And you have been doing that for like 2 years, right?
Yeah, I guess close to 2 years. I think I joined in like October of 2020, I think. Yeah, my buddy Jason Gherkin, he was doing it, and I don't know, I saw a post that he made and I was like, what's up with this? And then he invited me. But yeah, the Aaron Tate from Minus the Bear, it's his baby. He started the whole thing, and yeah, I was honored to be invited and to be in the group. It's really, there's so many amazing drummers that are, yeah, like, I don't even want to name names because I'll forget somebody, but it's just tons of awesome drummers from all kinds of bands that you know and love. And yeah, I'm super stoked to be a part of it and put my measly recordings out there, my measly drum covers. But it's a great idea, and it's a great community. It brings out, like I would have never have met all these guys and gals, if it wasn't for this group, and I haven't met any of them in person yet, but it's just a community, and you can just talk about drums safely, and it's really been awesome. I've learned a lot already, and I've not only just like learned about new awesome bands and drummers, but just all kinds of drum related stuff. It's been a great thing to be a part of.
Yeah, I've been watching some of their stuff, and of course your stuff on Instagram. So for people that don't know what we're talking about, go to Instagram, Indie Drummer Collective, and you will see what we're talking about. It's amazing. I love Minus the Bear, so once I found out he was the creator, I'm like, okay. And once I found out you were in, I'm like, okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. I don't know how he does it. He's got another job that takes up all his time, and he still finds a way to manage like over 100 drummers and put all the themes out and all that stuff. It's just, it's a lot of work. He rules. I'm looking forward to meeting him one day.
Oh, for sure. Maybe next time.
I've only talked to him over the interweb.
Yeah, but that's awesome, buddy. So before I let you go, you guys have the Helmet Evanescence Corn Tour, and then September, Clutch, Quicksand. Oh man, JD Pincus and Helmet.
That's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to all those. It's gonna be great. Come out and hang out.
Yeah, for sure. I'll try to make it. I'm gonna try to jump the wall.
Yeah, I'm kidding. We'll get that guy out of here.
I'm kidding. I have all my papers in.
Order. I think a couple of people. We'll be all right.
I'll be all right. Well, buddy, it's been a pleasure, man. Do you want to add something else?
I don't think so. I think we've covered it all. Just thanks for having me on again, and I don't have anything. I love everybody. I love you all.
I love you too, buddy.
Acabas de escuchar Conversaciones de Altura.